Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Warzone. That is right, soak it in, ladies and gentlemen. It's not often you see Warzone footage from me here on my channel, but we have good reason to do so here today, because they updated Warzone, and they updated Black Ops Cold War with some Vanguard content, so allow me to explain. They updated the Season 6 Battle Pass for both Warzone as well as Cold War, and as a result, throughout the various tiers, we have Vanguard content that can be unlocked. Most of it is just going to be stickers and calling cards and weapon charms and stuff like that, which can only be used in Vanguard. So you're basically just doing this to unlock things for Vanguard in the future. But you can also use this stuff in Warzone as well, should you want to. But if you're just like solely a Call of Duty multiplayer focused person, then the content you're working on right now is not going to be able to be used within Cold War, but it will be there for you in Vanguard should you unlock it. So basically just more content on the Battle Pass, which is good, but also on there at tier 24 we now have a variant of the STG-44, and at tier 34 we have a variant of the M1 Grand. Now the thing is, you can use both of these within Warzone should you have them unlocked. Now you can't just simply unlock the STG or the M1 Grand and then add whatever attachments you want. If you want to use either of these weapons, then you have to of course use the weapon variant that you unlock via the Battle Pass. And if you haven't gotten to that tier on the Battle Pass yet, then you can't use the weapons. But what's kind of neat about this is your weapon levels apparently will be carrying over. So as you can see, I'm running around here in Plunder with the STG-44, and as I get kills, I am leveling up the gun. And apparently, according to Activision, once Vanguard comes out and the Vanguard / Warzone integration happens, then all the weapon levels that I'm earning on the STG-44 in Warzone right now will be there waiting for me when Vanguard comes out. So that's kind of interesting. If you play enough Warzone, you can level up the STG-44 and the M1 Grand to max, and then when the game comes out, have those maxed out guns waiting for you right away. Now, I kind of wish they would have picked a different gun than the STG-44, because judging from the beta, that's already one of the best guns in the entire game, and now as a result, as soon as the game comes out, everyone's going to have it at max level with all the attachments. But I guess we'll have to wait and see how things are going to play out in regards to that. But yeah, in general, it's pretty interesting that we now have some Vanguard content that we can start earning on the Cold War / Warzone Battle Pass, and we also have these weapons here, the STG and the M1 Grand, once again at tiers 24 and 34, which we can level up in Warzone to prepare for Vanguard in the future. So definitely some good news there. Now let's go ahead and move away from news and move more into rumor, although I suppose this also falls into the category of news. But you guys probably heard about this. Modern Warfare 2. It's apparently coming, and it's not the Modern Warfare 2 that you want. So this was leaked by credible industry insider Tom Henderson, who claims that the next Call of Duty title after Vanguard is going to be called Modern Warfare 2, but instead of having a 2, we're going to have the Roman numeral 2 eyes as the 2, which I know looks ridiculous and it's very convoluted and confusing, but apparently that is what is going to be happening with the game. And then news site Charlie Intel backed up that claim, saying that the information that Tom put out there lines up with the information that they've been hearing as well. So these are two very credible industry insider sources claiming that the game coming out after Vanguard is going to be called Modern Warfare 2, that's a Roman numeral 2, and it's going to be a direct sequel to the events of Modern Warfare 2019. I think Tom put it best in this tweet right here. That name is awful. This is so confusing. Only we have to look back at horror movies like the Halloween franchise to get this level of convolution and confusion, right? I mean, we had Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and then Modern Warfare 2, and then Modern Warfare 3, and then Modern Warfare Remastered. But after Modern Warfare Remastered, we simply just get Modern Warfare. How do you release Modern Warfare 3 years after Modern Warfare Remastered? That doesn't make any sense. And then you have Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, and then you're not going to release Modern Warfare 2 Multiplayer Remastered, but instead you're going to release a new game called Modern Warfare 2, but instead of a number 2, you have the Roman numeral 2. This is the most confusing shit I have ever seen. Talk about brand recognition being horrible, but at the same time being amazing. The reason why they keep going with these names is because of Modern Warfare, right? The brand recognition is both amazing and terrible. You hear Modern Warfare, you know exactly what to think of, but when it comes to actually just continuity within the Call of Duty franchise, this is the worst name they possibly could have gone with. We thought that, Activision really outdid themselves by naming their game Call of Duty World War II. Well, now we have Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2 coming out, which is just going to be insane. And I guess we'll have to wait and see how things are going to play out in regards to that. People are asking me about this on my Twitch stream, and I suppose the biggest concern I have, I mean, the name sucks, we all get that, but the biggest concern I have is if they're releasing Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, what about Modern Warfare number 2 multiplayer remastered? What's going to be going on with that, right? I mean, how could they possibly release? I mean, again, the naming and the brand recognition is all over the place, so I can see them doing it, but how are they going to release something like Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, and then at some point after that, release Modern Warfare number 2 multiplayer remastered? Like, how is that possibly going to work? Like, I guess it makes sense if they, if they release Modern Warfare 3 years after Modern Warfare Remastered, they can do anything, right? But I don't know. It kind of concerns me that instead of releasing a remaster of the old school Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer, that instead they're going to continue to forego that and just keep releasing new content. And if I had to guess, which I know sounds bad, like, oh no, new content, but we've all wanted Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer remastered for a very long time. But I have to wonder, how is the game actually going to play out? Are they going to be making any significant changes? Because it was announced a while ago, actually during the Modern Warfare 2019 life cycle, that Activision is going to be having all the studios working much more closely together to have all the games kind of be a bit more cohesive throughout, which is why you see Modern Warfare 2019 and Call of Duty Vanguard feeling very similar. Black Ops Cold War, I would argue, is a bit different in terms of feel and gameplay and stuff like that, but if you look at the gunplay and like the aesthetic and just the overall feel and the vibe that kind of gets put off by Modern Warfare 2019 and Call of Duty Vanguard, it is very similar. So I have to wonder what franchise fatigue even is going to be like, because if we play through an entire year of Vanguard and then we get Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2 right after that, which has virtually the same, created class system and the same kind of gunplay and the field upgrade system and the operators, are we going to get franchise fatigue? And is that going to kick in even harder than it already is? Because back in the day, I would argue, during the golden age of COD, that I would consider from Call of Duty 4 to Black Ops 2, what was great about that was every other year we had something different, right? We had, the Modern Warfare title followed by a World War II title in the form of World at War. And after that, we had Modern Warfare 2, which was, of course, modern and took Call of Duty 4 up to 11. And then after that, we had Black Ops 1, which was something we have never seen before. This Black Ops, Cold War / Vietnam era game. Then after that, we had Modern Warfare 3. Then after that, we had a futuristic Black Ops 2. And like every other year felt different compared to the previous one, because Treyarch and Infinity Ward had very much their own identity as a studio, and their games were different as a result. Whereas nowadays, if you look at a game like Modern Warfare and Vanguard, they're pretty similar, just different time periods. And I have to wonder, is franchise fatigue going to kick in even more if they continue down this trend of having all the games feel similar so that they can work within Warzone, which is pretty much the reason why they're doing all this. The only reason why all these games are going to start seeming, so similar to one another is because they want all the games to seemingly work within Warzone, because Warzone is the big cash cow. It's the golden goose for Activision right now. That's where they're making all of their money. I've said for a number of years now that I almost feel like Call of Duty traditional 6v6 multiplayer is nothing more than a front to funnel people into Warzone. And we may be seeing more of that with Call of Duty Vanguard. But speaking of, things they're adding into Call of Duty, not Warzone related, let's talk about zombies here for a second. We started getting some teasers for zombies here today, which is fantastic. We're going to have zombies and demons, apparently. It's going to be a more demonic take on zombies. Of course, Treyarch is actually handling zombies for Sledgehammer this year, if you guys don't know that. So Call of Duty Vanguard zombies will be handled by Treyarch, not Sledgehammer, and apparently it's going to be a prequel to the events of Cold War Zombies, which is interesting. I still don't really know fully what's going on with the story of Cold War Zombies. We did the very first Easter egg on D Machina, but after that we haven't done any of the Easter eggs, my friends and I. So maybe I'll get Earthbound or somebody to carry me through some of those Easter eggs so I can kind of see the story, or maybe I'll watch a video, but the videos themselves, I don't know, nothing against zombies YouTubers, man, but people are like, oh, you don't understand the Treyarch Zombies lore? Here, watch this hour-long video. And I'm like, okay, well, I know the basic understanding. The Germans brought back the zombies. That's why they were called Nazi zombies back on the first map, and I'll figure it out from there. Oh no, it is so convoluted and confusing. It's like, in the beginning, in the before times, there were these alien space goats that were flying through space, and they were at war with good and evil. Dr. Monty was either good or evil, I forget. And then there was this other guy, the Shadow Dude, who was also good or evil, I can't remember. Then there was like a big war between them, and it went on forever, and that caused all the different universes to spawn and time travel, and something about Dr. Maxis, and Warcraft lore is less convoluted than zombies lore, but in all honesty, I think it's because Warcraft lore and zombies lore fall under the same problem, where they're mostly making it up as they go along, and they're also retroactively adding things in the future to make it make sense for the map. That's what it kind of is. Like, you know, I think originally it was going to be like the story of Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army, where it's like Hitler raised the zombies for Project Z, but, you know, I don't know, Call of Duty Zombies is just... it is all over the place. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Just a roundup of news here. We got Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. We have an update for Warzone and Cold War that adds Vanguard content to the Battle Pass, and we can level up some Vanguard weapons within Warzone itself. And then, of course, Zombies is going to be revealed, which is going to be pretty cool. And as always, I'll keep you guys posted as more information comes out about any of these stories. But for right now, we're going to wrap up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.